In a world where gods have fallen and mortals rise to challenge the heavens, two legends collide in an epic battle for supremacy. Hercules, the demigod hailed as the mightiest of all time, stands against Kratos, the Ghost of Sparta, a man who has defied death, toppled entire pantheons, and carries the fury of 1,000 battles. But when unstoppable force meets immovable strength, only one will walk away victorious. Will the wrath of a vengeful mortal be enough to bring down a son of Zeus? Or will the champion of Olympus prove that even legends have limits? Prepare for a clash that will shake the very foundations of myth. The battlefield lay in ruins, mountains flattened and rivers diverted by the mere clash of titans. Hercules stood tall, his lion-skin cloak draped over his shoulders, his club resting heavily in his hands. Before him, Kratos, the Ghost of Sparta, circled like a predatory wolf, the blades of chaos swirling with lethal intent. His body bore the marks of battles against gods and titans alike, each scar telling a story of wrath, vengeance, and survival. For a moment, the world seemed to hold its breath. Hercules clenched his fist, feeling the weight of his lineage. As the son of Zeus, he had fought beasts and monsters, completed the 12 labors, and was hailed as the greatest of all mortals. But Kratos? Kratos was something else entirely. He was rage given form, a mortal who had toppled entire pantheons. Your arrogance will be your undoing, Kratos, Hercules boomed, his voice shaking the ground beneath them. You challenge me, thinking you can slay another god, but you are nothing more than a ghost. Kratos grunted, a flicker of a smile tugging at the corner of his mouth. I've killed gods before. You'll be no different. Without warning, Kratos lunged, his blades of chaos whipping through the air like streaks of fire. Hercules barely had time to raise his club, blocking the strike as sparks exploded from the impact. The force sent both men skidding back, their feet carving deep trenches into the earth. Kratos was relentless. He pressed forward, swinging with the fury of a man who had lost everything. Each strike was faster than the last, every blow infused with raw anger. Hercules parried and dodged, his immense strength allowing him to meet Kratos' fury head-on. But even he, the mightiest of demigods, felt the sting of Kratos' assault. Then, with a roar, Hercules swung his club with all his might. It collided with Kratos' blades, shattering the ground beneath them. The sheer force hurled Kratos backward, smashing him into a cliffside with a thunderous crash. Dust and debris filled the air, and for a moment, it seemed like the fight had ended. But from the wreckage, Kratos emerged, covered in blood and dust. His eyes burned with unrelenting determination. He gripped the blades of chaos tighter, his veins pulsing with fury. With a guttural scream, he hurled one of his blades, the chain extending as it wrapped around Hercules' ankle. Kratos yanked with all his might. Hercules stumbled, the sudden force pulling him off balance. Before he could recover, Kratos closed the distance, slamming his shoulder into Hercules' chest. The demigod was sent flying into a mountain, the impact causing it to crack and crumble. Hercules growled, pain coursing through his body, but his resolve remained unshaken. He dug his hands into the rock and pulled himself free. As Kratos charged again, Hercules met him with a thunderous punch, one that rattled even the Ghost of Sparta. The air around them crackled as their fists collided in a flurry of godlike strikes, shaking the heavens. Kratos roared, summoning the full might of his Spartan rage. His blows came faster, fueled by decades of anger and pain. He drove Hercules back, forcing him to his knees, smashing his fists into the demigod's face over and over. Blood flowed, staining the earth, but Hercules was not finished. With a mighty heave, Hercules caught Kratos' arm mid-strike, his eyes blazing with divine power. Enough, he bellowed, standing to his full height. His muscles bulged, veins popping as he lifted Kratos off the ground, slamming him into the earth with the force of a meteor. The ground trembled, massive fissures opening beneath their feet. Kratos coughed, struggling to rise, but Hercules gave him no respite. The son of Zeus grabbed him by the throat, hoisting him into the air. "You are strong, Spartan," Hercules said, his voice filled with both respect and finality. "But this fight is over." With a single, earth-shattering punch, Hercules sent Kratos flying across the battlefield. The Ghost of Sparta crashed into the ground, creating a massive crater. He struggled to rise but collapsed, bloodied and broken. Hercules approached slowly, breathing heavily but victorious. He looked down at Kratos, respect evident in his eyes. "You fought well," Hercules said, his tone less boastful now, more solemn. "But there are limits to even your strength." Kratos, still gasping for breath, glared up at the demigod, his hands twitching toward his fallen blades. But even he knew this battle was lost. The sky above them began to clear, the clouds parting as the gods themselves seemed to acknowledge the victor. Hercules turned away, his shoulders heavy with the burden of his victory. Behind him, Kratos lay beaten, his spirit unbroken, but his body too shattered to continue. The war between these gods had ended, but the legend of their battle would be told for ages to come.